Hey everybody, David here, and this is another short and fast Fantasy Grounds tutorial where we will be looking at the party sheet that Fantasy Grounds has. Now, if you're a new user to Fantasy Grounds, you'll probably find this tutorial quite useful, and if you're a savvy veteran of the software, you probably know all about the party sheet. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, once you have the program running and your game is open, in the top right-hand corner, you are going to need to find the party sheet button. And for the 5e rule set, which is what we're using for this tutorial, and I'll get into the reasons why in just a few seconds, that the button will be up here in the top right, and you just kind of need to look around to find it. Now, the reason why I'm using the D&D 5th edition extension or the rule set is because on the right hand side you'll see that it has a bunch of features. It has the main tab, an inventory tab, an order tab, and an XP tab. Now, if you are using, depending on what rule set that you're using, there could or could not be as many different options over here on the right. I know that if you're using the core RPG rule set, then you will only have an inventory and an order tab. I know that the 3.5, the Pathfinder, the 4th edition, 5e, and I think Savage Worlds and the other rule sets, the official rule sets, they all have the same functionality as the D&D 5th edition plugin. So the party sheet, it has several nice uses. The first is it acts as an inventory manager, and it basically lets you see what your party has without opening up their character sheet. It will also allow you to allocate treasure that the party finds, where your players will not have to modify their character sheet. It will have a tab that represents sort of like maybe a watch order, or maybe a formation, as they're marching, or maybe how they set up a camp and you want to know where they're at in regards to the campsite. And then lastly, you can also allocate EXP, and you'll do that by experience point parcels. Really nice. It's a great tool for the Dungeon Master or Game Master. So the main tab is where you want to add your players. And all you do is you just open up your character selection and you just drop in the players for that game. Really, really easy. It's just drag and drop. Okay, so on the main tab, after you've got your characters drag and drop into the party sheet, you'll notice that there are a lot of numbers and stuff. This is basically just important information that you can look at the party sheet without having to go and open up individual character sheets. So you can see that their name, class, their race, their hit points, their hit die, in regards to like a moving bar. You can see that their strength, con, dex, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, all their ability scores and modifiers, AC, any kind of special defenses that they have. Now, on the bottom, this is a pretty nice little feature. You can do public roles or you can do private roles. And if, say for instance, if everyone is gathered around a chest and the rogue forgets to check for a trap, then guess what? They all need to do a dexterity saving throw. So if the dexterity saving throw would be 15, you would just add in 15 here, and then you would just drag it, just drop down in the drop down box there, dexterity. And then you just click the roll. And it'll do 4 rolls, and you can see who's successful and who's failed. But usually, normally under circumstances like that, I would have the players roll. So it just depends on you if you just want to pop it on them or if you allow them to roll their own rolls. So you can do that with ability checks also, and you can do that with skill checks and also attack rolls. And when you use these checks down here in rolls, it takes every character into consideration and does a roll for everyone. So you just can't do one or the other. It's for everyone. Okay, so that's the main tab. The second tab is the party sheet. And this is really nice and this is for inventory, by the way. Now, you can do several things with this. If you get like a pre-made module from the Fantasy Grounds store, or if you create like a loot parcel on your own, then you can just basically drag and drop it right to the party sheet here. Now we're going to take a look at one of these loot parcels, and I'm going to find something with a little bit of coin. And okay, here we go. This is good. We'll take the golden stag from Horde of the Dragon Queen. You'll notice that you'll drop the parcel in there, and it will have an unidentified item. Now it'll say unidentified. That's if you have identifying items on, and by default it's usually turned off. So normally you'll see this, but in my case I have identify turn on, and it is a longbow. Now maybe you want to add some money to it too. So you would just do maybe 15 gold pieces, or maybe 100 gold pieces, maybe 75 silver pieces. Now you're going to say, okay, well, where's all this stuff going to go? Well, it's really easy. All you do is you would distribute assignments and coins. Now it'll automatically split that up 4 ways. Everyone that's actually on the main tab will have this coin evenly allocated to them, which is really nice. Now for the weapon, you're going to want to find out who's going to take the bow. So we'll say Shrump is going to take the bow. Now when you're in the inventory tab, all you do is the assignment box here, just type in S for their first name and it'll come up, and that's it. That's all you do. And to allocate everything, you just hit this button here in the middle, distribute assignments and coins. And when you do that, it'll say money distributed and the item was distributed. So now on the bottom here, there is 2 boxes. One is on the left is for all of the coins and other gems and stuff. The other is your party inventory. Now when you put your characters in there, you need to populate it. You need to build this database. So all you do is you just hit the refresh button. And when you do that, you can find out the total party has 947 gold, and then it literally breaks down how much each person has. So you can keep an eye on that in case you think somebody's kind of adding a couple extra gold every game. You can actually keep a track of that. It'll keep track of the gems, the copper. I do a universal gem, so I have a 1-for-1 gold piece value. That's why it's gems. So normally it's not like that. Now here's your party inventory. Everything there you can see. There's 2 backpacks. Who has the backpacks? And here's somebody has a backpack, and Tiberius has got a backpack. So there you go. You can find out everything that everyone has, and that's on the inventory tab. Now next is the order tab. This is pretty useful also. This is for if you're doing a lot of theater of mind and you want to maybe have a marching formation. You can just go ahead and take your characters and drop them down on the map. And voila, there's your marching order. And then the players, they can adjust the marching order any way you want to adjust it. And also, if you're doing watches, on the left-hand side, you can type in, let's see, Growl's doing first, Rogar's doing second watch, Tiberius is doing third, and Shrump's doing your 4th watch. Piece of cake. I mean, it's really nice. Then it has, here, there is a drawing mode. It's where if you're traveling down a road, you can say, okay, here's an escarpment or an embankment on this side, and here's an embankment on this side. And then you would just erase it, or you could right-click it and get rid of the drawing. So, and then you can also share it with your players by right-clicking and just hitting share, and you can sync the client to where if you have it expanded out a little bit more, it'll basically sync it to where you're at. Really nice. I mean, it's really nice, especially for if you're doing, theater of mind or something like that. Then your players are able to move their tokens around. Really nice feature. I like it. Lastly is the experience tab of the party sheet, and this is where it allocates EXP to your party. They don't even have to add their EXP. Fantasy Grounds takes care of a lot of stuff for you, DMs and GMs, so utilize it. I mean, make it easier on yourself. It takes a little bit of time to set up, but in the end of things, when you're in the heat of the game, when you have everything prepared ahead of time, it makes the game so much easier for you as a DM. So this works as a drag and drop, just like just like it did for the loot. So if you're going to have any kind of quest, they're on the right-hand side. Now the quest you would build from the story tab. All right, and then you would just hit the quest. If there was a, we'll say that there was one here. We'll name it a quest, and we'll say that it's worth 1,000 EXP. Now all I would do is just take this quest, put it in there. You'll see that the XP value is worth 1,000. Now when I award it to the party, you'll see that it checks the boxes awarded, and then it added 250 XP. Pretty nice. It divided the 1,000 into 4, and if there was, more than 4 players, it would divide it appropriately. Now, that's how you do the quests. Now the encounters, they're in the NPC tab, and the NPC tab, and then in the top left there's the encounters, and then you just take any encounter here. This counter here with let's see what is in there. I think that's a Displacer Beast. You would just, if the knight had the quest reward and the the encounter here, you would just go ahead and award that too, and it will take the 700, divide it, the 1,000, divide it. There you go. Everybody got 425 EXP for the knight. So, and then if you have a bunch of other quests, you can do search, because you can literally leave these in here, and once this awarded button is checked, it will not award the player's EXP again. You can see that I'm just continually spamming this and nothing is being rewarded. Now if you take these off, then it will award it again, as you can see. So you can keep track of your XP, leave all the awards in there for your encounters, all the awards in there for the quest, and then if you get a long list of them, you can use the search function down at the bottom. So there you go, everybody. That is the Fantasy Grounds party sheet. Now remember, some of the rule sets may not have every single tab, but I did this because the D&D 5e sheet pretty much has all of the options, except for 4th edition has a skill tab, which basically is like this down here on the bottom on the main tab. So there you go, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope all you new users of Fantasy Grounds learned something today, and I hope you use it, because it is a great tool. So feel free to leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and until next time, happy gaming.